Sacktown brings. Win on the low, that's a Sacktown thing. Talking about us, it's a bounce out thing. Must they forgot we some Sacramento Kings. Whole squad going crazy, yeah, we back with it. Northern Cali going crazy, one sack winning. If you doubted us then, ain't no backspinning. This is real right here, ain't no catfishing. So tell me what you see now. Coming down the lane off the rebound. It's 9-16 now. Look towards the sky like the beam now. Tell them like the beam, like the beam now. You can tell them like the beam now. Tell them like the beam now. You can tell them like the beam now. Tell them like the beam, like the beam now. You can tell them like the beam now. Tell them like the beam now. If you reppin' that Kings like the beam now. Sack crowd, make sure everyone knows. Let me tell you how this thing really goes. Yeah, we travel deep, whether we home or on the road, we lit. You don't want that smoke, we the team of the year. We shaking things over here, don't doubt, we believe over here. We don't bleed over here. And let me just speak real clear, only deal with real kings over here. So tell me what you see now. Coming down the lane off the rebound. It's 9-16 now. Look toward the sky like the beam now. Tell them like the beam, like the beam now. You can tell them like the beam now. Tell them like the beam now. You can tell them like the beam now. Tell them like the beam, like the beam now. You can tell them like the beam now. Tell them like the beam now. If you reppin' that Kings like the beam now.
Welcome to Royal Rebounds TV with Calvin and Barry. Just two crazy fans of the Sacramento Kings and they sharing their opinion. So be sure that you subscribe. It's for the fans, by the fans. Whether you chilling on the couch or wildin' in the stands. For laid back conversations about the Kings, subscribe here. Staying down until we come up thinking this gon' be our year. We're here drinking beer, talking about the Kings. Be sure you subscribe so you can hear that bell ring, yeah.
What's up, Kings fans? Welcome back to Royal Rebounds, a Sacramento Kings YouTube channel for fans, by fans. Kings win tonight 119-109 over the San Antonio Spurs. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I apologize. We had some technical difficulties. I love it when my computer crashes in the middle of the beginning of the stream. But hey, we're here. Kings win. We're going to light the beam tonight. Shout out to everybody joining in. Please don't forget to smash up that like button. Hit that subscribe button. And I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Is the stream choppy? Is it okay? Please let me know. Calvin, welcome in.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
How was your day today?
It was long. It was busy. I literally just got in the door. So unfortunately, you're the analyst tonight, man, because I haven't even seen a single second of the game.
All you need to know is the Kings win.
I did know that.
Huge game for Domas
Like
Sabonis.
the Fox and Sabonis show.
17 points in the first quarter for Domas in this game. Huge win for the Sacramento Kings. And yeah, Barry's the analyst tonight, so let's go ahead and get started. I'll give my first thoughts on the game tonight. It was a rough start for the Sacramento Kings. They were down after the first quarter of this game. They fought back in the second. They played exceptional in the third, and they closed it out in the fourth. Big nights by De'Aaron Fox, a double-double for him. A big night for Domas Sabonis. I mentioned 17 points in the first quarter of this game. Another double-double for him, leading the NBA. I believe that's 39 double-doubles now for Domas. So absolutely huge, huge game for him. And the most important part, Kings win. They light the beam. I love it. Yeah, you like me with the clean hair. And shout out to you, Jesus. You're right. There were two Arcos, just like there were two intros to tonight's stream. So no worries there. So, Calvin, I guess we can hear about your day at work then.
Oh, man. Well, I won't bore people too much, but it was a busy day on the pool deck today.
Yeah. Awesome.
A lot of guests. If anybody's ever worked with the POS system Micros, you know my pain. That was the reason why it took me so long to get out of there. Tanaka, what's up? Laner dude, what's up? Pat, what's up? Good to see you guys. Yeah, unfortunately, I apologize. I'm not going to have too many in-depth or existential thoughts about the game tonight, but if you want to know how to be a pool server. I can tell you all about that. I can go into as much detail as you want.
I was reading an article today that was actually hilarious. And don't worry, Kings fans, we're going to talk about the game. Nick, I see you there. We'll bring you up on the stage when we're done breaking down the game. But I was reading an article today, Calvin, and it was written by bartenders, and it was describe each person based on their drink. And man, was there a bunch of hilarious ones in there. One of my favorites, the Mai Tai. It says you love exotic places, but you don't get a passport. So I thought that was absolutely hilarious.
That's pretty funny.
There's a lot of people here that come here to Hawaii, have Mai Tais because they want an exotic experience inside the United States. And a lot of people actually forget that we are in the United States here in Maui, Hawaii. So shout out to Maui. Calvin, what do you do? Ask Jim.
Well, Brian, after that explanation or that story by Barry, you can probably guess what the most commonly ordered drink is. I am not an exotic dancer, even in my free time. I work for Hyatt Hotels. I'm a pool server at the main pool bar here in Maui. So as you can imagine, it is very busy. I had the largest area to cover today too, which is good for money, but bad when there's a Kings game and they play on the road and it's an early start. So
what a hard day for Calvin, walking around the pool in 70-plus degree weather with his sunglasses on, enjoying the sun.
I do like walks on the beach. Jesus is absolutely correct about that. Funny story about the Mai Tai, Barry. You know this one.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that Mai Tais are a Hawaiian drink.
I think we asked them.
Well, I kind of just gave it away. But
yeah, but where is it from?
If anybody knows where the Mai Tai was originally invented, and I'll give you guys a hint.
Don't Google that shit.
You should be able to get close given the geographic location here of a lot of the viewers. So.
Yes. Where did the Mai Tai originate? I believe it was in the late 40s.
Yes.
But let us know which city it originated. Bonus points for you. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're going to light the beam at 30 likes tonight. So when we get to 30 likes, we are lighting the beam. But hey, let's jump here into the box score. As you can see down below here, Kings win 119-109. Domas Sabonis, 37 minutes of action, 34 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, only picks up 3 personal fouls in this game after fouling out in the previous game. Harrison Barnes, 14 points, 6 rebounds, and assists tonight in 36 minutes of action, 5 of 9 from the field. Keegan Murray, rough night for Keegan Murray. Only 2 points, did not make a field goal in this game, was 0 of 8 from the field, 0 of 6 from three-point range. Not something you'd expect out of Keegan. 27 minutes of action, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. De'Aaron Fox, big game for him, 31 points, 2 rebounds, 10 assists, 13 of 23 from the field. Calvin, we've seen a lot of high usage of De'Aaron Fox, especially taking a lot of shots. I believe 27 shots in the last game, 23 tonight. All that in 38 minutes of action. 2 of 4 from three-point range. De'Aaron makes some buckets. He also moves back into number 1 in clutch time scoring. We'll talk about that a little bit later on the show. Kevin Huerter, another rough going for him. Only 19 minutes tonight for Kevin Huerter. 2 of 5 from the field, 5 points, a rebound, and 2 assists. Trey Lyles, 5 points and 1 rebound off the bench in 20 minutes of action. 4 points for Metu, 0 points for Davion in 10 minutes. Terrence Davis, 2 points for him. And a huge game by Malik Monk. 22 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists in 33 minutes, 8 of 13 from the field, 2 of 3.
And a chain.
From three-point range. And the chain. Did he get the chain?
According to Sass. Sass is my Malik Monk expert,
okay.
So I go to him for everything. Malik Monk.
Dude, yeah, tell me about it. I should have worn the Monk jersey. The last couple games should have been wearing the Monk jersey. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. I was trying to get the stream ready for you. The computer was lagging. As you guys saw, it was crashing in the middle of the intro song. Calvin was coming up late, so I was trying to help him out. Nothing against Calvin. It just, when he's late, it puts a little bit more on my plate. So I will wear the Malik Monk jersey very, very soon. Very, very soon. Also, dude, you got to see this missed dunk by Malik Monk.
I heard about
Probably the dunk of the year if he made that.
Wow.
It was exceptional. And everyone talks about how small Malik Monk is. That dude was crazy. I don't know how he hopped like that. Like, he literally took off from like 2 feet past the free throw line and tried to dunk on somebody.
Must be the shoes.
It was incredible. Shout out to everybody in the chat. D Fox Collector. What is that? Ex-Soldier Jim, PK, Brian, Lane, Tanaka is here. Who else? Did Lane say was watching with him?
Pat.
Oh, and Pat. Shout out to my guy, Pat. Alfie Man, Bouncer, as always. Welcome in, everybody. Callum is here. Good to see you guys. Sass is here. Can't forget about Sass. Sass is always bringing the sass. Okay, Calvin, so you have no idea what to talk about.
That's right. I have absolutely nothing.
You know what I should have done was I shouldn't have read the box score, and I should have been like, don't look at the screen. Calvin, what do you think happened?
Well, I do know this.
Okay.
Tomorrow is a pretty important day. Do you know what happens tomorrow?
Groundhog Day.
That is true. But in the basketball world, it's pretty important day.
It is an important day. They announced the
All-Star reserves.
Yes.
So it comes as no surprise to me that Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox have huge games on the eve of the All-Star reserve selection.
Yeah, and actually during the game today, I don't know if you guys were watching or if you were in the same boat as Calvin, but during the game tonight, I don't remember who it was. I think it was KD. Somebody said they were interviewing an executive in the league. They asked 2 questions. 1, does De'Aaron Fox deserve to be an All-Star this season? 2, did you vote for De'Aaron Fox? Both yeses. Huge. That's huge. And then we also have injury concerns that we're monitoring as well. If players are injured and not able to play during the All-Star game, they get replaced. So they're, Mark Jones. Good job. Dude, Sass has always got my back. Sass is negative at times, but Sass pays a lot of attention, which is great. Very, very, very important.
Gotta love a critical thinker.
Gotta love it. All right, let's take a look here at the team stats. Man, dude, the internet has been so slow in Maui today. Kings shoot 53.3% from the field as opposed to 54.5% for the San Antonio Spurs. Almost 30% from the three-point range for the Kings as opposed to 33.3% for the Spurs. 78% at the free throw line for the Kings. They did get out rebounded tonight, 40-34. 25 assists as opposed to 30 assists tonight for the Spurs. 10 steals for the Kings, which is absolutely huge. And then you look at the turnover number. Only 10 turnovers tonight for the Kings as opposed to 18 for the San Antonio Spurs. I think that was a huge difference maker in this game. And also points in the paint. 74 points in the paint for the Kings as opposed to 68 for the Spurs. The Kings were up by 13 at one point in this game. But Calvin, I mean, I think we should go over your keys to the game.
Let's do it. Once again, I'm unprepared. I forgot my computer.
Okay.
In the rush to get into the studio. Jay, thank you for the shout out. You can absolutely get an autograph at a game, playoff game. That's
Also,
probably the next time we'll be in Sacramento.
And I always forget to do this to start the show. Shout out to Young Zel. Young Zel puts out amazing, amazing music. We've been blessed. He allows us to use a bunch of his songs for the intro. So hopefully you guys enjoy it because you're going to be hearing a lot more of Young Zel. And definitely shout out to him. Big Kings fan. The goal is to get Young Zel to perform Light the Beam at halftime of a Kings game. I think that would be absolutely huge. Did they change the like button thing here on the chat? I see hearts and stuff flying up the side.
Yeah, there's all sorts of
Is
crazy
that
stuff going on. I don't know.
Maybe it's me. Is it me?
Maybe.
Okay. I don't know. Anyways.
I don't notice it.
I'll remind you your 3 keys to the game. Number 1, let it rain. Right?
Yeah.
Number 2,
Fail on that one.
play the passing lanes. Number 3, limit their bench. So let's check in on those. Let it rain. Can you elaborate there, and we can take a look.
Well, San Antonio is the only team in the NBA that allows opponents to shoot. They're the lowest in this category in the league, but allows opponents to shoot 40% from 3. So I thought this might be a game where they could get their outside shot right. Turns out I was wrong, but that's okay because they dominated inside.
Yeah, Yeah. I mean, big game by Keegan Murray would have helped this. A big game by Kevin Huerter would have helped this number. Both of them did not shoot well tonight. Like I said, only 29.6% for the Kings from three-point range, but they shot 27 threes in this game. They were definitely gunning. For Calvin's key to the game. The second key was play the passing lanes. 10 steals tonight for the Sacramento Kings. So
yeah, thumbs up on this one. Both of these teams are in the top 4 in the NBA in assists per game. They like to share the ball. They like to spread it around. And so, turnovers is obviously an important statistic for every team in every game. To only have 10 turnovers in this game, also get 10 steals, that's definitely doing a good job.
Yes. PK, I am enjoying an old-fashioned. I've been drinking a lot of old-fashions lately. One, they're delicious. And two, it makes me drink a lot slower, which I like. Funny, in that article, they had people that drink old fashions, and you know what the bartenders commented on?
I can guess.
Okay, let's hear your. I mean, you've bartended, you've served.
I have
quite
bartended, served quite a few, drank quite a few old fashions. It's my favorite cocktail.
So if you did not know me and I ordered this from your bar, what's going through your head? This guy is fill in the blank.
This guy is laid back, old timer.
Okay.
Old fashioned.
Oh, he's
no
old
pun
fashioned.
intended.
Got it. Okay. Well, the article said he either knows nothing about alcohol or he knows a lot about alcohol.
That's
and he's
totally
trying
fair.
to be fancy.
Totally fair.
So there we go. I'm enjoying it. I guess I'm fancy, and maybe I know a lot about alcohol. Maybe I don't. Who knows? The third key to the game was limit the bench of the Spurs. I'm going to butcher a bunch of these names. Just so you know, I've never even heard of this guy before. Branham? Who the hell is that? Malachi Branham. Huge game. Normally, we don't even like to go over their numbers, but 22 points for him tonight, 19 points for Josh Richardson. I know a ton of Kings fans have been talking about Josh Richardson and what he could bring to the Sacramento Kings. Honestly, he's not on my list, but he is a good player. So 19 points for him, and then 14 points for Zach Collins, a guy that was drafted by the Sacramento Kings, I believe with the 10th pick, the same year De'Aaron Fox was drafted. He was in Portland, dealt with some injuries. Now he's back on the Spurs. Big night for him, 14 points for Zach Collins in only 19 minutes, 7 of 9 from the field for him.
Yeah, San Antonio is number 1 in the NBA in bench points per game. I think it's a little over 43 per game. So they clearly rely heavily. I mean, they're a very young team, struggling team, get blown out a lot, which means you're going to play your bench a lot of minutes on a lot of nights, more than contending teams. So it makes a lot of sense that their bench scores a lot of points. But
yep, Jeff the Lefty's here. Gothen, thank you. Have a good night. We appreciate you. We know you watch later on, so go for it. And guys, only 5 more likes till we light the beam, so please smash up that like button. And I have some interesting stuff to talk about later, so don't forget to stay on the stream here, because we have some really, really important things to talk about. 12-2 run by the Kings in the second quarter of this game was huge. We saw an alley-oop from Fox to Monk that was huge. Monk had a couple dunks in this game. Like I mentioned, the missed dunk. The Kings only had 2 threes in the first half of this game, which was pretty wild. You look at a lot of these stats and you'd be like, wow, the Kings won this game. They got out-rebounded in this game. They got outshot from the three-point line. But the steals were huge. The turnovers were huge. So that definitely made the difference in this game. A couple things to note here. 7 more games left until the All-Star break. And the Spurs are now on a 7-game losing streak, Calvin. They lost 10 out of the last 11 games. Not good to be a Spurs fan. Maybe they get Victor Wembanyama. Who knows? Greg Popovich is holding himself back from ripping out his hair. It's crazy to think.
Well, he did say at the preseason press conference this year that they were not making the NBA final, or don't bet on them to make the NBA finals.
Who's the girl here? I don't know what that means.
If that's a shot at the long hair, that's messed up.
I think it's Nicole. Dude, the hair's supposed to be down, Calvin. What are you doing?
You're right. I know. I'm sorry, man. I literally ran part of the way here, so I'm still like really hot. I didn't want to let the hair down
I'm
yet
hot
because
too. I don't know what it is, dude. It's hot.
As you know, it's hot with long hair.
It's been raining here for a week.
It's very muggy outside. Yes.
Yeah.
Give me a few more minutes and I'll let the hair down.
One more like, and we light the beam. We light the beam. I know you guys want to see the beam lit, so might as well light the beam. Anyways, back to what I was saying. In the beginning of the season, right, they interviewed Popovich. They said, what keeps you here with the team? And he said, the paycheck.
He said the paycheck.
So, I mean, he gets paid whether they win or lose.
Yes.
But I want to talk about the Spurs. Normally, we don't talk a ton about the other team. However, the Spurs team has been an incredible team for a really, really long time. And I think the Kings have an opportunity to potentially do that. We have some young stars on this team. They could be good for the next 10 years. So I definitely want to talk about that. But, hey, let's light the beam, Calvin. Light the effing beam.
Light the effing beam. Why not?
Light the beam now. I wish I was a rapper, dude. My next life, I'll be a rapper. The crazy thing is,
Ballers want to be rappers. Yeah. Rappers want to be ballers.
Exactly, right? Basketball players want to be rappers. Rappers want to be basketball players. Calvin, I'm not either. I mean, I like to play basketball. I like rap music, but I'm not a rapper or a baller.
I wouldn't call myself either at this point in life, but I did play basketball for a long time competitively, and I performed an original rap song that I wrote on stage in front of 500 people. So I check a couple boxes.
That's pretty cool. We'll have to get you to write another song and perform it here live. Maybe when the Kings make the playoffs.
Okay.
That'd be a good one.
Maybe Young Zel, hit me up. We can do a collab.
You see the beam? The beam's lit. It's
the beam is lit.
It's there. It's going to be there for the rest of the stream.
It's lit.
So we listen to you guys. We appreciate you all. How many likes do we hear the Island Boys tonight, Cal?
Oh, man. 32 right now. How about...
You go 50?
We'll go... let's go 45. 45.
All right. Watch the bandwagons come into this chat. Just watch. Yeah, I totally agree, Nicole. Shout out to you. Calvin and I have been doing this show for a few years now, and it's really interesting seeing, how the fan base changes a little bit when you start winning. There's still a lot of people that are negative, right? Which I get it. We're battered, we're bruised, we're fans. For a long time, we, like I had one of our neighbors here was just asking me, an hour ago, how does it feel? The Kings are good, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it hasn't hit me yet. It hasn't hit me.
Yeah,
and he's
ask
like,
me
why?
in April.
You expect them to just like fuck it all up from now on? And I'm like, no, I didn't say that. I just said like, it doesn't really feel real. Like, Cal, I'm the guy that like, I'm not on vacation until I'm on vacation. I'm not the person that's like, a week from now, I'm going on vacation. 3 days left till vacation. Oh, vacation tomorrow. No, like once I get to the airport, then I'm like, okay, I get through security. Then I'm like, okay, vacation, stop at the bar, get a couple beverages so I can sleep on the flight. That's when I get excited. So I'm excited right now for the Kings, but I'm holding myself back until it's official. Then I'm letting loose, and it's really, really going to get crazy.
Job's not done. Right?
Job's not done. Great.
Job's
point.
not done.
Great point. So anyways, I want to talk a little bit about the Spurs. They were exceptional for so long. I want to say 20 years or so of, making the playoffs every single year. Yes, they had great players in David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Ginobili, Parker, and they actually drafted really well too, right? Didn't they draft Paul George? I believe they drafted Paul George and traded him for George Hill or something like that. Wow. They drafted Kawhi Leonard.
They did.
So, I want to hear from you, for a team to have sustained success for a long period of time like that, what do you think it ultimately comes down to, right? Like, I mean, I could say you need a good owner that's willing to spend. You need a capable GM. You need a coach that's there generally for a long time, right? Because coaching changes definitely correlate with like losing records and stuff like that. So stability, I guess, is the key that I'm pointing to. But I want to hear from you. What makes a franchise like the Spurs good for so long?
Well, it's all of those things that you mentioned. Luck plays an incredibly large role in all of this. I mean, yes, you can say that it's great to draft well, but when you have a player like David Robinson and you deal with a lot of injuries that year and you luck your way into the number one pick and end up getting Tim Duncan, that is a very lucky thing, right? Mm-hmm. And that subsequently added, maybe 10, 15 years of sustained success for them.
A healthy Tim Duncan,
yeah. So all of that stuff fits into it. It's organizational structure, continuity, stability, those things that you talked about, having a great coach, but also having a good working relationship with the front office, being on the same page, stability in that, right? And then luck when it comes to staying healthy across the board as a team, right?
Yeah. So the reason I bring this up is I feel like the Kings have a pretty good opportunity here. They have a really young GM. I mean, Mike Brown's got a lot of coaching experience, but he's still pretty young, which is crazy to think about. Wes Wilcox is pretty young, De'Aaron Fox. We got Sabonis, obviously Keegan Murray, and some of these other players. I think the Kings have a pretty unique opportunity here to be good for a long time. And maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. If you guys feel like I'm totally out of line, let me know in the chat. But I think the Kings do have a unique opportunity here to be good for a long time. And the reason I say that is you look at a lot of the teams in the division, right? The Lakers, they're aging, they're getting old. They don't have many draft picks. You look at a team like the Warriors, similar, right? I expect them to do better this year than they are doing. But they're kind of in the same spots. Curry's getting older. We'll see what happens with Draymond at the end of the year. Klay Thompson's getting older. Yes, they have some young players, but I don't think they're really ready to step up. You look at the Clippers, right? No draft picks, aging stars, stuff like that. So I think the Kings have a really, really unique opportunity here to be good for an extended period of time. What do you think they need to do to maintain that, to become the next San Antonio Spurs in terms of like winning for a long period of time?
Well, they have to stay healthy, obviously. They have to. I think they've done a good job of doubling down on the stability of the organization, right? They found a coach who they think, so far is doing a great job and should be the guy that can lead them for years to come rather than the revolving door at head coach that this and many other losing franchises see a lot. They extended Monty McNair to match with that. They're very comfortable with the direction the front office is taking. The scouting, the drafting has been great, all of that stuff. And they are young too, right? I think the missing component here is going to be continuing to draft well and perhaps finding that either diamond in the rough in the draft that's going to end up being, like Manu Ginobili and Draymond Green, for example, when we're looking at those two franchises, both second-round picks. And they struck gold on those picks, right? Yep. You don't have to get a Hall of Famer in the second round, but if you're able to find somebody that is a key contributor, and is a guy that's contributing for a long time, that is going to go long way. So whether they're able to get the franchise and the organization to a standpoint where big-time free agents actually consider Sacramento as a viable destination, which is definitely a possibility, if you continue to succeed like this and you've got the pillars, you've got a good head coach that's been to the NBA Finals, won a championship. Those are all things that entice free agents to come, right? So that, or being able to continue to hit in the draft and find another potential all-star to be that third guy. Maybe it's Keegan Murray. Maybe he develops into that. But I think you still are going to have to probably find one more piece in there. Yeah,
I couldn't agree more. I think, one thing that Monty's proven, and shout out to him, he did get the extension. If you haven't been paying attention, he is extended. Wes Wilcox is extended as well. I believe both of their contracts line up with the contract for Mike Brown. So we know we're going to have those guys for a little while. But I think one thing he's proven in his time in Sacramento, not only has he made smart trades, signed players, stuff like that, but he's just drafted so well. He's drafted exceptionally well. In the last three drafts, I think he's hit on every single one. I still think a lot of people are so on a guy like Davion Mitchell. They want to see more. But, guys, this guy is so limited. I believe he only got like 10 minutes of action tonight. So he's really limited in the amount of minutes that he actually gets on the court. But I do think he's a stud, and I love the defense that he brings to this team. But back to my point, I think stability, right, in coaching staff, front office, and then drafting well. I think those three things together, plus, like you said, the luck. There's a little bit of a luck factor, right?
It's a huge factor.
I feel like in every season there's a luck factor.
Of course.
Winning a title takes a little bit of luck. Winning an MVP award takes a little bit of luck. And just being good for a long time takes a little bit of luck. And what I mean by luck is luck in staying healthy, right? You got to be there on the court to do all that stuff. So with a little bit of luck, I think consistency on the front office, the coaching staff, and drafting well, I think this team can be good for a really, really long time. So I'm really, really excited for that.
They're definitely on the right path, for sure.
So they have definitely, turned the corner. Calvin, I'd love to ask you what you thought about Keegan Murray's game tonight. But, I guess I'll talk about it. 27 minutes of action, 0 of 8 from the field, 0 of 6 from three-point range, only puts up 2 points, but 7 rebounds in this game. I talked about it on a couple streams ago. Some people weren't that happy in the chat. Shout out to Skip. We appreciate you, Skip. A couple people weren't that happy in the chat, and they were saying, I was talking about Herter and Barnes, right? And they're like, Herter and Barnes didn't have a good game. And I'm like, that's not what I was saying. What I was saying is they didn't shoot well. But what I love about this team is guys are finding ways to be impactful on the court even when they're not shooting well. Tonight, you look at the 7 rebounds by Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray had a 0 rebound game earlier in the season. He got called out by Mike Brown. He's tried much, much harder, and he's responded. I believe the last game he had a double-double, 13 and 13.
Yep.
So, maybe he wasn't shooting well tonight. I still like the defensive effort that he was putting out there. He's not perfect. He does have a lot of room to grow in that category, but he's trying. He's putting in effort, which is half of the defensive battle in the first place. And he's getting rebounds, which I think is exceptionally, it is so important. So, unfortunately, Keegan did not have a great shooting game tonight, but he did give it his all, which is all you can really ask for these players. I don't think I've seen a single Kings player give up in a game this year, which is really, really important. I also want to give a shout out to Mike Brown because I saw a moment in this game where Keegan Murray made a mistake on the defensive end of the floor. Mike Brown calls a timeout. He runs out on the court. He grabs Keegan, and he's literally coaching Keegan Murray on the court during the timeout, explaining things to him, saying, here, come here. He's pushing him. He's saying, do this, get down here, go this way. And he's just breaking down every single aspect. There's not a lot of coaches in the NBA that do that, Calvin. Not a lot of coaches. I mean, Greg Popovich, like I said, one of my favorite coaches, I think one of the best coaches of all time. He's not getting out on the court and grabbing his rookie and pointing at spots. Maybe he does it in practice. He's not doing it in the middle of a timeout, in the middle of a game.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a situational thing. Certainly Coach Pop knows how to coach, right? And he probably knows how to coach rookies. It is what it is. You have to have a guy that's going to be your coaching style. First of all, you have to have guys that are going to respond well to that. Keegan does definitely respond well to the tough love, the tough coaching style that Mike Brown has at times. But I think Mike Brown seems to be the type of guy that has a good mix of everything, a little bit of praise, a little bit of excitement and energy, but also is the type of guy that if you make a mistake or you are in the wrong spot defensively, so on and so forth, you're going to get your ass called out, whether it's on the bench or in the locker room, and probably both. So I think those are all good traits to have of a coach. In my opinion, in order to be a good head coach, you've got to be somebody that is going to be intimidating and, in a sense, strike fear into players in certain situations. But you're also going to be a guy that gives praise and credit when credit is due. And Mike does that time and time again, every post-game press conference. I'm sure he does it even more behind closed doors and during practice.
Yep.
And just to add to, you're talking about what you're saying about Keegan Murray here. Yeah, he did not shoot well today. And yes, he did have a shooting slump earlier on in the season. But I hope nobody is going to criticize him too hard. We are talking about a guy that has led the NBA in three-point shooting percentage the last 2 months. The NBA, not rookies, the entire fucking league. So he's played extremely, extremely well. And that's for a guy that's also taking a bunch of attempts a game. It's not like he takes 2 or 3, so he puts it up.
And you look at the rookie leaders in three-pointers made, Keegan Murray's on top. He's up by
he's on pace to break the record this season. Donovan Mitchell, I think, 186 or something like that.
I think he's got like 115 or 17 or something like that. Crazy. And the next person in second place was at like 80.
Yeah.
So he's got like almost 40 more, which is absolutely ridiculous in my mind. So back to Mike Brown here. Do you know how old Mike Brown is?
I'm gonna say
before you guess, he was assistant coach in 1997 through 99 as the Wizards. He was with Popovich as an assistant 2000 to 2003. He took over or was assistant with the Pacers 2003 to 2005, and then took over head coaching duties in 2005 with LeBron James in Cleveland. That was 18 years ago.
Yeah, God, that was a long time ago. I'll say 51.
Very close. He's only 52 years old.
52.
Which is crazy for a guy that's been a head coach in the NBA not consecutively, but it's been 18 years since he's had a head coaching position in the NBA.
Oh, Alfie Man hit it on the head right
absolutely wild. And I think that really helps him in coaching a guy like Keegan Murray, because Mike Brown was really thrown into the fire in Cleveland, and being a head coach of a guy like LeBron James, where the expectations are so high. He was a rookie head coach. And I think he kind of stumbled out of the gate, then he got better. They made it to the finals. They got their asses whooped in the finals. Then LeBron left Cleveland. He bounced around to a couple different franchises, settled in Golden State, and I thought he did an exceptional job in Golden State. A lot of people are like, oh, he's assistant coach, blah, blah, whatever. But, a lot of guys, even in the NFL, right, where you see guys that are head coaches, they lose their head coaching job, they be a coordinator somewhere else, whether it's offensive or defensive coordinator for 5-10 years. Then the next time they get a head coaching job, they absolutely kill it, because they've had that time it's almost like business school, right? When you go to business school, they don't recommend that you get your master's right afterwards. They want you to spend some time in the field learning real world things before you go back and you learn the rest. So I think that's kind of on like where Mike Brown is at here. Was he got thrown into the fire? Everything was coming at him real fast. He had to learn on the fly. Then he had to take a step back, learn from a guy like Steve Kerr, who was also a rookie head coach. Not when Mike Brown was with him, but when he took over, he was. And I think he got to see kind of what winning basketball, what winning culture looks like. And then finally the opportunity presents itself. He wanted to go to Sacramento. And I think he's really building off of a lot of those lessons he learned. And I think that really helps him relate to a guy like Keegan Murray, who's so young. He's thrown in the fire here in Sacramento. We're trying to make the playoffs. We're trying to win basketball games. He's a rookie. He's a starter. Yes, he does make mistakes, but I think Mike Brown really comes and helps him, lifts him up. So that's just kind of a long rant that I put together there. But I'm so happy with all these guys. I really am.
Absolutely.
I really am.
Third in the West.
Third
that's all you gotta say.
In the West, which is
West.
Absolutely
first in the division, third in the West.
Ridiculous. All right. Do we want to talk about anything else in this game? Because we got some housekeeping things to talk about here.
Well, I think you know my answer. I still
you
haven't watched
watch
the
game after this. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, let's hear from Nick. I want to hear from Nick real quick. We'll hear what Nick has to say, and then we can talk about some housekeeping things. Maybe Nick can be you tonight. What's up, Nick? How are you, buddy?
Good. So we did tonight. We light the beam tonight. We won their game tonight. And why not light the beam?
Why not?
I love it, Nick. Calvin didn't get to watch the game tonight, Nick, so you're going to be my co-host. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. Give me your first thoughts on the game tonight.
My first thoughts today was we got to shoot some three-pointers. The Kings, Harrison Barnes made some three-pointers. They played really good defense tonight. They played really good defense. And just remember, when you play good defense, you win your games. And you're at 29 wins right now. So,
good point.
Can you beat the Indiana Pacers on Friday? That's where they go to. Next stop, Indiana.
Next stop.
He's
Indiana.
Already getting ahead of himself. He's like, I don't want to talk about tonight's game. Let's talk about Friday.
Tomorrow,
I want to win another game. I want to light the other beam.
And then tomorrow, we're going to wait until tomorrow, see what happens. The bonus.
Yes.
If our All-Stars, if the bonus and Fox are going to possibly go to the potentially go to the All-Star in Utah. So can they go to the All-Star? If they make the All-Stars, we should have a chat on Royal Rebounds.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's do it. It's kind of like a punishment getting sent to Utah, but I get it. These guys want to be all-stars. They want the recognition. But, Nick, I want to get back to tonight's game here for a little bit. Did you see that missed dunk by Malik Monk?
Yes, I did. That was crazy.
What did you think of that?
Well, I think it's pretty good.
I wish he would have made it because that was exceptional. I don't know how that guy can jump that high. Can you jump that high, Nick?
I don't think I can. I don't think I can when I could play basketball and jump that high when I play ball. I mean, no, I don't think I can.
Yeah, Jeff's in the chat here. Jeff, there's no back-to-back game tomorrow. What Nick was referring to is tomorrow they announced the All-Star reserves, so that's big for Fox and Sabonis. And then the next game is against the Pacers and potentially Tyrese Halliburton because he might play in this game on Friday. But we'll talk about that. What did you think about the big game by Domas Sabonis tonight? 17 points in the first quarter tonight, Nick.
Good defense.
Good
defense. All right.
Okay. I know what you want to talk about tonight. You want to talk about the defense. Only 109 points allowed by the Kings. I believe 10 steals for them tonight, right?
Yes.
What did you see different? What did they do differently on the defensive end of the floor tonight?
I think what they did different is playing really good and winning their ball games and doing what you got to do is win your ball game. And, they did pretty good. Good defense. Winning your games. And, this is what I like.
Yeah.
And if you can keep winning your games, then you're like right behind Memphis Grizzlies right now. You're like at 29 wins.
I like it.
29 wins.
I like it.
And
all right,
right
last
now,
question before I let you go, Nick. I know you want to talk about the future, so let's talk about the future. What position do you see the Kings in the West when the season's over?
Well,
regular season.
Regular season is over. I think, I'll be happy.
You said what?
I'm not sure, but I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet.
Oh, come on, Nick. We need a spot from you. Pick a number. One
Pick
to 6.
Pick a number between 1 and 3.
I think third pick.
What was it? 6?
No, number 3.
Oh,
Number
3.
three. Okay,
Yes,
number
I like
3.
it. I was a little
If we
concerned
go
there
to-
for a second.
Hey,
Pick number 3,
if we go
Lord.
if we go to the playoffs, the city of Sacramento is gonna go crazy.
I like
You're
it.
right about that.
I like it. All right, Nick. Well, we're going to let you go. Appreciate you joining in. And we'll be live on Twitter Spaces after the stream. So hopefully we'll get to talk to you a little bit more.
Okay, have a good night. Sleep beams.
Sleep beams.
See you soon, buddy.
Alrighty.
All right, dude. I love it when Nick joins in. Always good. Always good to hear from him. But hey, let's jump back here. Like I said, we do have some, some duties to attend to. First off, hope you guys are enjoying the poll. I thought it was one of the best dunks of the season. If it was made, it would have been one of the best dunks, if not the best dunk of the season. It was exciting to watch. Like I said, if you have not seen it, like Calvin, re-watch it. Just re-watch that thing. I think I watched the replay like 4 times, and I didn't even pause it. They showed the replay like 4 different times. Even like 2 minutes later, they're like, back to the replay of that missed dunk. And I was like, hell yeah, just keep showing that play. He's going to get one of those. He's going to get one, and it is incredible. Dude, it was so exciting.
Why not, Brian? Why not?
Calvin, it was so exciting that the Spurs bench went crazy.
It's big when the opposing team's bench gets hyped.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. But hey, I'm going to end the poll here, and I've been listening
man,
to
you guys are killing me. I'm so hungry. I see lasagna and pad thai in the chat.
Why not order a Mai Tai?
Why not order a Mai Tai and a pad thai and all of the above? I'm starving.
Okay, we'll get there in a second, Calvin. Okay, first off, we need to talk about Keegan Murray. Yes, he didn't have a great game tonight, but he was named to the Rising Stars game on All-Star Weekend. He will be in Utah, whether he likes it or not. Very, very exciting, Calvin. What do you think we're going to see out of Keegan in that game?
I think we're going to see a lot of threes.
A lot of threes.
Let it rain.
Threegan.
He maybe even competes in the 3-point contest, right?
That would be exciting. When did they
Should.
announce that?
Leading the league
I
in
thought I heard
3-point percentage
something-
the last 2 months. You should be in the
I
3-point
thought I
contest.
saw an article about Kevin Huerter or something in the All-Star weekend.
I missed that one, but
I don't know exactly what it said. Do you know when they announced the 3-point and dunk contest, people? It's got to be any day now, right?
well, I know some people have already announced for the dunk contest, like
Okay.
Shaden Sharp, Kenny Martin Jr. is in. Aaron Gordon said he would do it if he made the All-Star team, so I guess we'll find out tomorrow
Okay.
if he's going to be in the dunk contest or not.
Oh, we have another caller here on the line.
The Kings won, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, the Kings won, yeah. The Sacramento Kings, oh, yeah, the Kings won, yeah. Fox is so fast. Sabanas is so strong, yeah. Coach Mike is so smart, yeah. They are the playoff bound, yeah.
Dude, Island Boys are 1-0 in their predictions this year. They're Kings fans. They hopped on the bandwagon.
They are the playoff.
They said they were going to make the playoffs, and sure enough, they are on their way. So don't ruin us now. Shout out to Derek. He loves the victory song. Yeah, we're training everybody to like the Island Boys, including myself here on the channel. But yeah, shout out to Keegan Murray for making it to the Rising Stars Challenge. I'm excited for that. One thing about playing in Sacramento is you don't get a lot of eyeballs on you, right? We're still not getting national televised games, even though we're the third team in the Western Conference. Keegan Murray's absolutely killing it. Yes, there's a little bit more on the Kings this year because they are winning basketball games, but Keegan Murray's got a chance to shine. You see what I did there? At the Rising Stars Challenge. So I'm definitely excited for that. All right, next up. All-Star reserves, we said, are announced tomorrow, so make sure you guys stay tuned.
Big day
for that.
for Sacramento Kings
Huerter
fans
should be
and Kings players.
Huerter should be in the 3-point competition. I really hope he is. Maybe that'll help him snap out of his shooting slump. Also, I mentioned it kind of briefly earlier. De'Aaron Fox moves back into number 1 in clutch scoring in the NBA, which is exciting. And clutch scoring is defined as a 5-point game in the last 5 minutes. Is that clutch? Are you cool with that? Does it need to be better?
I'm fair
Last
with
2
that
minutes,
definition.
I think is what Ethan was saying.
Yeah, I mean, if it's if the game is within 5 points, I think 5 minutes is okay. But
Okay. Do you think they should do like 30 seconds at the end of half? Or you know what I mean? Like clutch?
I mean, you could. That's the problem with these statistics, right? Is you could make them these advanced analytics and all that stuff. You can get way crazy with it. I think this one you'd keep it pretty simple here. End of the game, 5 points or less, 5 minutes.
There you go. You heard it here. I hope you got your keys for the Pacers game because I don't have them written down.
I can make something up.
Okay, perfect. Don't tell anybody. Okay. Couple more things to mention. I bragged about Mike Brown and what he's doing to this team. He's really helping out. Like I said, the guy is one thing I really love when I work at a new job or when I go to a job is people that are in high positions that nothing is below them, right? You're the GM, but you're not afraid to sweep the floor. Even though it's not your job, you help the team and you sweep the floor at occasions when it's dirty, and it makes everybody's job easier. It kind of solidifies everything. Everybody is one team. They're all working together. That's kind of how I see Mike Brown. He's not afraid to do the little things to help the rookie, right? He's not pushing an assistant coach on him. Oh, you go tell the rookie what to do. He's out there front and center telling him what to do, helping him. I think that's huge for developing culture here in Sacramento. So shout out to Mike Brown. I should probably give him a shout out every single episode. But I want to hear from you. What is Mike Brown's chances at winning Coach of the Year?
I mean, I said this months ago. I think his chances are really good. Every win, his chances get better and better. Certainly, I think that the voters give a lot of stake and credit to the teams that go wire to wire. The Boston Celtics have had the best record in the NBA all season long, and they have a guy that they did not expect to be their head coach either.
Yep.
Joe Mazzulla is definitely going to get some consideration for that award. But I think if you look at the teams in the top 6 or top 3 of each conference, the Kings are the only team that nobody expected to be in that position. For them to have a bunch of new players, a young team, a first-year head coach, have a better than 500 record on the road, better than 500 record after a loss. That's direct results of the coaching staff making a huge change from last year to this year. Yep. So to say that Mike Brown isn't a front runner or has, one of the best chances to win the award currently, I think is being facetious.
Yeah, I agree. Ty, I see you here on the Twitter Spaces requesting to come up. We're live on YouTube, so give me a second. We just got to finish one more thing, and I would love to hear from you. Also, I love the name change, so shout out to you for that. Also, remind everybody here, you can join us on Twitter Spaces and have your voice heard. Follow us on Twitter, Royal_Rebounds. I'll be hanging out in the space an hour, maybe 2 hours after the stream ends. If you want to talk, I'll be there. Okay, last thing to talk about before we move on, Calvin, and this is kind of something that hit pretty close to home for me, and it's Sacktown Royalty. Do you ever go to their website or use Sacktown Royalty? Yes. They've been around for a really long time. I think James Ham started writing for them originally. That's how he became famous.
Shout out.
A couple other sports writers. But some unfortunate news. They are being defunded, or the funding from Vox Media has been pulled from Sacktown Royalty at the end of this month. So they currently have 3 writers that are on part-time, and they are getting paid through the end of the month. However, at the end of the month, they are cutting everything off. Don't know what's going to happen to Sacktown Royalty. There's an article on their website explaining it. It doesn't sound good. So it's really, really unfortunate. And the timing is just horrible. This website, this publication has been around for so long. Finally, the Kings get good and their funding gets pulled. So very, very sad. Please go and support Sacktown Royalty if you can. And that's just a reminder to everybody, right? That support the creators that you enjoy. If you enjoy us here on the show, support us. You can hit the like button. You could subscribe to the channel. We will be rolling out channel memberships here in the next week or so. I'll explain more on that later, but basically there's going to be extra emojis, something next to your name. There's going to be a private group, stuff like that. So please, please, please support all the creators. If you love Deuce and Mo, show them some love. If you love Sacktown Pete, show them some love. Everybody that puts out videos for the Sacramento Kings or content, writes articles, whatever, please, if you get any value from them, please support them. I'm going to be putting in all of our YouTube videos going forward in the description. I'm going to be putting links to all the other Kings channels that I like. I'm going to be putting links to all the websites that I enjoy that post Sacramento Kings things on them. So I'm just telling everybody, if you like content that people are creating, support them, because you never know when they won't be there any longer. And it makes me really, really sad to hear about Sacktown Royalty. I really hope they can figure it out, because they have been invaluable for the Kings. Okay, let's stay positive, Calvin. Let's move forward. Let's talk about the next game against the Pacers. I'm going to bring Ty up on stage because I want to hear from him. We'll let him get connected here. And then I'll ask you. So you got a couple more minutes to work on your keys. Ty, what's up, buddy? How are you, man?
G'day, mate. How's it going?
Good day.
I got to come in the extra Aussie today, because why the hell not?
I like it. Can you say light the beam real quick?
No.
Oh, my God. Are you serious?
No. I've already had Daily and stuff try to get me to say light the beam. I'm not going to say it, no.
Will you say it if we beat the Pelicans?
Oh, the fuck no. What the fuck?
Let's make a bet, dude. If the Kings win, you got to say light the beam. If the Pelicans win, what do I have to do?
If that's the case, I got to think about it. Well, I doubt it, but I'll think about it. I'll give it a 4. Okay? But I'll say I didn't watch the game today, to be honest, because I refuse to watch the Spurs. It's just as simple as that. I say to everyone, I can't watch Popovich play the 11th and 12th and 13th man in the first and second quarter. Like that, that's telling me you're a tanking team, right? But I heard you talk about Indiana. So I kind of wanted to talk about, you guys were talking about keys to the game, right? No one gave it us, so it was okay if I could give mine?
Please. Well, hold on real quick. I got a couple more questions for you before you get rambling, Ty, because I know you love to talk. But first off, how long have you lived in Australia?
my entire life.
Okay. Have you ever heard of the Australian kiss?
What? So what?
Do you know what an Australian kiss is?
I've never heard that. What the fuck?
Do you know what a French kiss is?
Yes, I've heard of a French kiss.
So the Australian kiss is very similar to the French kiss, but it's down under.
Oh my goodness.
All right, give me your
Isn't
keys
this on
again.
YouTube? Isn't this on YouTube
Ty,
and live?
before you do that, we have a few other actually Aussies that frequent this chat. They want to know what state you're in.
What was that, sorry?
I said we have a few other Aussies that watch this channel pretty regularly, and some of them are asking what state you're in.
Oh, I'm from New South Wales.
I didn't even hear that.
I didn't either, but hopefully everybody else did.
Do you want me to repeat it?
Why not?
Okay. I said I'm from New South Wales.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
New something.
All right, let's talk about Indiana.
On to Indiana. Give me your keys to the game.
All right. Number one, attack that fraud Miles Turner. See, I'm sick and tired of hearing this Miles Turner hype of being this great defender. I am telling you, if he doesn't do this, I am disappointed. Sabonis better get 20 and 15 bare minimum. With Turner being such a weak rebounder, him being weak just in general, Sabonis should dominate that matchup. Number two, Indiana also likes to play fast. They're one of the teams which is very close to Sacramento in pace. So it's really going to be of who can play faster at the end of the day. And I think Halliburton is a game-time decision. I'm pretty sure they play the Lakers and then they play you guys, so they've got a back-to-back. If Halliburton plays, yeah, you've definitely got to get back on defense. You know what I mean? Mike Brown, if he has to call his iconic 1 minute, 2 minute timeouts into the game, he's going to have to, because with Halliburton as their team, it makes them completely different. Like, their offense run, Miles Turner looks 10 times better, Buddy Hield looks a lot better. You know what I mean? Just everyone on that Pacers team really strives with Halliburton. And then number four, I mean, just overall.
How many keys do you have for this game?
Well, I mean, there's a lot, mate.
I missed three.
Well, I have one more anyways. So okay. my last one is, just don't be worried if you get into a shooting slump, right? If that happens, because I've been noticing this, attack, like cut. I want these guys to cut off the ball more, since they haven't been doing that recently. And yeah.
Thank you, Ty. Appreciate you, man. I'm just giving you a hard time. I always enjoy talking hoops with you.
I know.
Appreciate your keys to the game. I'm going to move on here to Joseph. I want to hear his keys to the game. And then Calvin, I got to wrap up the live stream. And like I said, I'll be on Twitter Spaces for an hour or two afterwards. So I'd love to talk with you a little bit more. Joseph, you're up, buddy. We're talking about Kings Pacers on Friday.
What's up, Joseph?
What's up, man?
What's
How you doing?
up?
Light the beam.
Hell yeah, light the beam.
Okay, finally. Somebody says light the beam. Give me your keys to the game on Friday.
It's a Kings fan thing. We know.
I am a Kings. Keys to the game. All right, so not sure if Halliburton plays, so don't know about that. But yeah, attack the paint. If if the threes aren't falling, get to the basket. Run everything through Sabonis. I like Monk. I like what he does.
I do
coming
too.
off the bench. Force Buddy to dribble the ball off his knee. He did that in sack a lot. Yeah, but for real, definitely contain Buddy. Don't want him to get hot. Just come out with a defensive intensity and try to put that away.
Awesome, dude. I love it. Can you give me a prediction?
Score prediction?
Whatever prediction you want.
I think it'll be a close one. I'm going to say 115 Kings to 110 Pacers.
I like it. I mean, I'd like a little bit more of a blowout, but I do like the win. So I'm really, really happy about that.
If Halliburton doesn't play, I'll predict a blowout.
Okay. I like that. Perfect. We got to get back to the show here, Joseph. You got anything else you want to say to everybody that's watching live on YouTube?
Fox and Sabonis better be in that All-Star lineup.
Oh, man, I was going to ask you that exact question, if they're going to be in that game tomorrow.
Appreciate you, Joseph. We will talk to you some more after the stream's done. All right. Calvin, well, now I feel like you're cheating because, like, you didn't do your homework. You're unprepared. You showed up to the test without your number 2 pencil. It's not even sharpened. Give me your keys to the game.
I always take tests that way, and I do pretty well. So I'm ready for this. No, but seriously, both of these guys are right. The Indiana Pacers are such a different team with Tyrese Halliburton. So yeah. I actually didn't even realize he had been upgraded to a game time decision at this point. I didn't think there was a chance he would play in this game. If he doesn't, well, I should say when he has played for them, they were all the way up to like 5th in the Eastern Conference playoff standings. They were a much surprised team, just like the Sacramento Kings. So he will completely change the complexity of the game, even if he hasn't played that much, because we know how well Tyrese sees the floor. We know how good, being Kings fans, having a relationship, watching him, how good he is in the pick and roll, how much the Kings struggle defensively when they have to guard good, solid guards like that on the perimeter. And it doesn't stop with him. Benedict Mathurin has had a huge rookie season. He's a guy that can get to the basket at will, a weakness for the Kings. So I will say perimeter defense in general, pick and roll defense is going to be very important for this game. Yes, transition as well, getting back on D, playing passing lanes well like they've done over the past couple of weeks. And then there's a lot of intriguing matchups in this game. The Sabonis returning to Indiana, Miles Turner just getting his extension. That's a big-time matchup. I think Sabonis should be able to take full advantage of it. I agree with Ty. He should dominate inside, maybe draw a bunch of fouls on Miles Turner, who does protect the rim pretty well. A lot of block shots in his career, average-wise. But if Sabonis is able to get him on the low block, he should own that matchup, I think, every single time. So I will say perimeter defense, pick and roll defense, and then continuing to get, some good play from the bench here, because as we saw today, even though San Antonio's bench scores a lot, when the Kings bench scores on top of that, we know how good the starting lineup is. They're almost impossible to beat.
Yeah, I agree. First off, I want to give a shout-out to Robin. Robin, I saw you here in the chat. Appreciate you joining and watching. Also, shout-out to Fred Dixon. I saw Fred. Didn't get a chance to talk to him on Twitter Spaces, but shout-out to Fred. Also, dude, check this out.
Roar with us.
We got these.
Yes,
First
we
game
did.
of the season. Only game we got to go to this year. They lost. Didn't light the beam, but hey, I got a T-shirt that I got to wear here on the stream, so that is pretty exciting. My 3 keys, because I'm not like Ty. I'm not giving 4, 5, 6, not 7, not 8, not 9. I'm giving 3 keys to the game. My first key, and just to start out here, yeah, give me a thumbs down. My first key to the game, because I'm not worried about Fox. I'm not worried about Sabonis. I think both of those guys know what this is, right? This is a revenge game. This is Fox proving to Halliburton that they made the right decision. This is Sabonis proving to the Kings that they made the right decision. So my 3 keys to the game. First off, if Halliburton plays, keep the ball out of his hands. Whatever you can do, try to get the ball out of Halliburton's hands. Key number 2, make Buddy a playmaker. Take away the 3 if you can. Make him try and make plays, because we know as healthy as Buddy's been with the Kings, which is one of his best attributes, he's good at shooting the 3 ball. He's not a great ball handler. He makes mistakes, especially in clutch situations. So I'm going to make Buddy as much of a ball handler as I can. My 3rd key to the game is going to be get the 3-point shooters going. I'm talking about Kevin Huerter. I'm talking about Harrison Barnes. I'm talking about Keegan Murray. Whatever you can do to get those guys shooting again, making buckets, I think will be good and help the Kings finish up the rest of this 7-game road trip.
Definitely. I like those.
Calvin, give me a score prediction on this game.
Well, Tyrese Halliburton definitely changes the final score of this game if he plays or not. But I will say the Kings are going to continue the road winning streak. I'm going to go 117 to 108.
Okay. So even better defense than tonight, huh?
Yes.
How many turnovers for Buddy Hield?
If Tyrese plays, it's going to be 126 to 119.
Okay. How many turnovers for Buddy in this game?
I'll go. I think he's going to shoot it a lot. I don't think he's going to put it on the floor too much.
Okay.
He's going to let it fly.
That Klay Thompson game, no dribbles?
Yeah. So I'll go 3 turnovers for Buddy.
Okay. I was thinking 4, but I'm hoping more for like 7. 7 would be great. That would be incredible. But I think you're right. I think he's going to try to just shoot it as much as he can.
Yeah.
Not dribble it, which I don't know. How do you force a 3-point shooter to become a playmaker?
Well, it starts with not giving them space. I mean, it's a very difficult thing, right? Because you have to help side defense is so important in today's NBA with how much the floor is spread and how good guys are getting to the basket. But if Buddy's the type of guy where if he knocks down a couple, it's like laser locked on. Every time he touches the ball, it's going to go up. So not giving him too much space and then closeouts are absolutely huge here.
Definitely.
I would even jump screens on him. I would blitz screens, try to force him to make a decision, earlier than he wants to.
Yeah, Sass says force Halliburton to drive right. You agree with that?
Yeah, Halliburton loves to drive left. He makes great decisions. I would say he makes good decisions going both ways. But yeah, force him right. Force him. You want to try to take away the initial direction of the screen.
Yeah. And Joe, shout out to Joe. Joe says Kings have almost 30 wins before the All-Star break. That is incredible, Calvin. That is absolutely incredible. 7 games left to the All-Star break. The Kings have 29 wins right now. Not saying they're going to win the next 7, but they got a good chance to get to even 35 wins before the All-Star break.
That would just be incredible.
Let's look at the rest of the schedule here. There's Indiana on Friday. Sunday, there's New Orleans, which we're gonna murder them. Ty, come up with
longest
the bet.
losing streak in the NBA right now belongs to
the Pelicans.
The New Orleans Pelicans.
Wow, shout out to them. Ty, dude, come up with this bet, bro. I know you want to. And then 2 games against Houston. When is the All-Star break?
February.
It's like right around Valentine's Day. I know the deadline is the 9th. The
deadline is the 9th. I believe it's maybe the next week. It's at the weekend after the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So then we got 2 games against Dallas, a game against Phoenix, and then the All-Star break commences. So right after Valentine's Day. So another exciting week of Kings basketball. We want to thank you guys all for joining in on this episode. Please don't forget to smash up that like button, hit that subscribe button. Calvin, you got any last words for the royal family out there?
Thanks for watching. Sorry I wasn't my normal self today. Extenuating circumstances, all that. But we'll be back on Friday. And Go Kings, light the beam.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like Calvin said, we appreciate you all so much for taking the time out of your day to hang out here with us. We love you guys so much. And as Calvin said, Go Kings. We'll see you guys on Friday.
Oakland, California, by the way, was the answer to the Mai Tai question.
That's my bouncer right there.